Hey folks, want to jump on here and shoot a quick solo podcast episode. This one's going to be on Warner Music Group. We haven't talked about this industry yet, so super excited to get into a bit of detail. Try keep this under 15 minutes. That said, let's get into the show. So Warner Music Group, WMG, is one of the quote big three, end quote, global music companies alongside Universal Music Group and Sony Music Entertainment. Founded 1958, headquarters New York City, US, CEO Robert Kinchel since 2023, business, recorded music, music publishing, artist services, major divisions and labels. WMG operates through several prominent labels including Atlantic Records, Warner Records, Elektra Records, and Parlophone. Its publishing arm is Warner Chappell Music, one of the world's largest music publishers. Notable artists past and present. WMG's labels have worked with artists such as Ed Sheeran, who played in Sydney, I believe it was last weekend, Dua Lipa, Bruno Mars, Madonna, Coldplay. Ownership and history highlights. Previously part of Time Warner, acquired in 2011 by Access Industries, led by Len Blavatnik. I think I got that correct. Went public again on NASDAQ in 2020. Gemini, this is over on .google.com. Warner Music Group, WMG, is currently undergoing a significant, quote, technology first, end quote, transformation under the leadership of CEO Robert Kinchel. As part of February 2026, the company is leaning heavily into AI licensing, high margin streaming, and a leaner, quote, core only, end quote, business model. Latest financial performance Q1 2026. WMG reported robust results for its fiscal first quarter end December 31, 2025 on February 5, 2026. By the way, that's December 31st or February 5th. Revenue reached 1.84 billion, presuming USD, United States dollar that is, a 10% year-over-year increase, beating market expectations. Streaming growth, subscription revenue rose by 14.3%, driven by price hikes on major platforms and strong performance from artists like Alex Warren, Cardi B, Teddy Swims, and Ed Sheeran. Profitability, adjusted OIBDA, margins expanded to 25.2%, aided by a $30 million cost-saving initiative and a shift away from lower-margin physical goods. It's the first time I've seen. Now, I'm not directly in finance or a financial advisor, but OIBDA, operating income before depreciation and amortization, it's not EBITDA, is a non-GAAP GAAP financial metric. I'm not an advisor, measuring a company's profitability from core operations by adding depreciation and amortization expenses back to operating income. It highlights cash generating capacity from day-to-day business, excluding capital structure and non-cash, non-operating items. Key aspects of OIBDA formula: operating income plus depreciation plus amortization. Focus, unlike EBITDA, which starts from net income, OIBDA starts from operating income, ensuring it excludes non-operating income like tax treatments or FX changes. OIBDA? Purpose, used by analysts to compare operational performance and cash generation across companies, particularly when they have high fixed assets. Use cases, highly relevant for evaluating operating performance in industries with heavy capital investments. Difference from EBITDA. OIBDA includes taxes and interest implicitly within operating income before adding back D&A, where EBITDA removes them. By the way, D&A would be depreciation and amortization. Pretty sure. Yeah. Adjusted OIBDA or OIBDA margins expanded to 25.2%, aided by, we already went over this, a 30 million cost-saving initiative and a shift away from lower-margin physical goods. Let's just double-check something here. That would be in USD, United States dollar, the 1.84 billion. Just for anyone out there, in AUD, that would be 1.84 billion in AUD. USD to AUD. Sec. Just taking a moment. It's roughly around 2.5 billion. So 1.84, around 2.5, maybe a little bit more. That's with current exchange rates, I believe. 1,800 million US dollars equals 2,542,372,372,200 Australian dollars. We use the mid-market rate for the USD to AUD conversion. The current exchange rate is 1.4124. Fascinating. Maybe we won't get into this. In euro, which you probably won't, it's been a while. It's not lonely. How long do we have left? It's 7 minutes and 7 seconds in, so super interesting. I'm not lying, by the way. It just popped up. Excuse me. Hopefully the pause is adding value to the episode, or the podcast, not taking away from it. It's not working. To euro's not working. 1.84 billion USD to euro. I just can't seem to. In AUD, it's kind of getting there, but we got there with euro. It just didn't. So maybe we'll continue. Yeah. 1 USD is 0.84. Anyway, we'll hold off. We'll just go to AUD for the moment. If anyone has, if you want to look it up yourselves, feel free to go ahead. If it's back in Ireland, I'll probably do it. Beating market, so revenue reached 1.84 billion. We already talked about that. A 10.4% year-over-year increase, beating market expectations. Sync revenue. We talked about profitability. Adjusted OIBDA margins expanded to 25.2%, aided by a 300 million cost-saving initiative, a shift away from lower margin physical goods. Sync revenue, music licensing for TV, film, and ads exploded by 53.8%, partially due to the integration of the recently acquired Tempo Music catalog. Fascinating. Just look up Tempo Music for a sec. Tempo Music catalog. What is it? Tempo Music is a high-quality music rights acquisition platform launched in 2019 by Providence Equity in partnership with Warner Music Group. In February 2025, Warner Music Group acquired a controlling stake in the portfolio, which features hits from artists like Wiz Khalifa, 21 Pilots, Florida Georgia Line, and Jonas Brothers. Key aspects of the Tempo Music catalog: artists and creators. The portfolio includes rights from major artists and songwriters. We talked about that. Hit songs and producers. The catalog holds rights from acclaimed producers and songwriters, including Philip Lawrence. That would be, there's a bracket, Bruno Mars, Adele, the end bracket, Jeff Bashker, Shane McAnally, and Mali, Malay. Genre and reach, the catalogue is diverse, covering pop, country, rock, and hip-hop, often in partnership with Warner Chappell. Acquisition history, founded with a $650 million. The company focused on acquiring song catalogs from top songwriting talent between 2019 and 2021. Recent status: as of February 2025, Warner Music Group acquired a major stake. We talked about this in the catalog for roughly $450 million, aiming to integrate it further into their publishing operations. Fascinating. Seems like it did well. The quote ethical AI strategy, which is interesting to see another industry. We talked about the Ford, so the automotive industry adding in artificial intelligence. Now we're talking about the music industry adding in artificial intelligence. There's also a few other companies that we talked about. Talking about I think Deutsche Bank, I believe it was. Let me just double check. So the financial industry adding in artificial intelligence. I don't know if it was Deutsche Bank or... Let me just double check here. We talked about A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz investing in AI. Same with Sequoia Capital, but mainly Andreessen Horowitz, excuse me. If anyone's listening from that company, I apologize. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. It's probably best to call that for the moment. Who else is adding in artificial intelligence? We'll continue because we're 11, just coming on 12 minutes now. It's fascinating to see this topic keep popping up. If anyone wants to go back and take a look at episode 13, we cover a brief overview of a brief synopsis and talked about artificial intelligence, and I think it's around a 15-minute episode, maybe slightly over. We talked about NVIDIA, which is the most, I think by market capitalization, the biggest company on earth. The largest, the number one, the powerhouse behind a lot of AI. Anyway, we'll continue on Google. Anyway, let's go back. So the quote ethical AI end quote strategy, WMG has positioned itself as a pioneer in the AI space by choosing collaboration over pure litigation. Key initiatives include licensing partnerships, deals with AI companies like Suno, Udio, and Stability AI to ensure artists are paid when their work is used in generative models. Quote, hard border, end quote, policy ensuring any AI model trained on WMG's catalog must pay royalties, treating AI training as a new revenue stream. Superfan monetization, hopefully this is all correct, developing tools that allow fans to create authorized, monetizable remixes of songs, turning user-generated content into a profit center. Leadership and corporate strategy. Robert Kinchel, the former YouTube chief business officer, has spent the last 3 years installing a, quote, Silicon Valley mindset, end quote, centralizing technology and finance teams. Core-only model, WMG has been divesting non-core assets like the EMP merchandising business and media brand Uproxx to focus exclusively on high-margin music rights. Catalog firepower, the company recently expanded its joint venture with Bain Capital, increasing capacity to approximately $1.7 billion USD, that's United States dollar again, to acquire iconic music catalogs. Segment, recorded music, notable labels, Atlantic, Warner Records, Elektra, and Parlophone. Current focus, digital streaming, and, quote, direct-to-fan, end quote, relationships. The first time we've used that term on the podcast, direct-to-fan. Music publishing, Warner Chappell Music, representing 180,000 plus songwriters, aggressive AI licensing. Artist services, WMX, ADA, global distribution, and high-growth touring markets, notable France. I think we're just coming up on 15 minutes, and we've covered a lot, so let's go to the one thing. One big thing about Warner Music Group is that it's one of the, quote, big three, end quote, global music companies controlling a massive share of the world's recorded music and publishing rights. Alongside Universal Music Group and Sony Music Entertainment, WMG helped shape the global music industry, signing major artists, owning vast song catalogues, and influencing streaming, radio, and pop culture worldwide. That's 15 minutes, folks. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.